Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're going to check out the latest Dying Light 2 patch called Good Night, Good Luck. And before we begin, I would like to say huge thanks to Techland Games for sponsoring this video and giving me the opportunity to check out this update, so let's begin. Over the past 2 days, I had a chance to play through the update and experience all of the new changes, so this is what I noticed. The patch itself is divided into different sections of gameplay improvements, first one being one of my favorites, and that's changes to the night itself. So I loaded in the game and did what I usually do, go loot around during the night because, well, loot is better and of course I will get more experience. But my exploration was cut short because I stumbled upon a volatile standing on the roof. Yes, that is now a thing, so you won't be safe even there because volatiles are going to be roaming various rooftops. And now when a volatile sees you, that's when the chase begins, and the only way to escape or to fight is to run. But I noticed how fast volatiles can get to me regardless of the location, so it made the whole experience a lot scarier, because before I usually going to run from one building to another and that's going to be it. But now I went through a couple of buildings, went through various windows and doors, and guess what? That volatile was behind me still. And I also noticed that there are a lot less howlers roaming the streets now, because before they were usually the main reason why the chases would begin. They see you and they call in the others. That's not the case right now, making those encounters much more random, giving that horror-like vibe to it. Just because of positioning, the enemies can be much different. Volatiles are also much more dangerous now. I noticed how much more damage they need to be dropped, even on like lower difficulties. On higher ones, well, it's going to be a lot more deadly, which makes you think when to fight and when to run, and also how to fight in general. Just spamming attacks into a volatile is not going to save you all that much. And devs also added a new color grade to the game called Darker Nights, which reduces visibility for you a lot, making your experience more terrifying, along with HUD changes, which you can of course change and toggle in game options. Also, one of the things which I really like is that the flashlight has been improved, and now it creates more dynamic shadows, so it's easier to see with what you're working with. And also when you're roaming through various buildings and we're going through various let's say hallways, this light right now is going to be, well, much better, much brighter, but at the same time areas which are dark and which are behind you or on the side of you are going to be actually dark, so you won't know what is roaming behind them, so you always have to be careful. And along with that, sound has been rebalanced and reworked, where now sound effects monsters make around you is much more crisp, while music goes down, so you can really immerse yourself. Before, music was kinda going up more as like more action begins, but now the music actually goes down a little bit, where you can actually hear where those volatiles and various zombies are moving from, and it can be definitely scary. Because I found myself sweating multiple times as I was trying to run away now, because I don't know if it was me, but volatiles were intercepting me much more easier now, and much better of course, so like their AI has been improved on that. And on top of that, you have running zombies serving as almost like backup to keep you busy while volatile creeps from the back. But in any case, they definitely managed to make night gameplay much more dynamic, fun and interesting, and deadlier, especially as I said on higher difficulties. And of course, running away from these zombies, volatiles and howlers would be nothing without parkour, and what would Dying Light be without parkour? So now parkour in this game has seen a huge overhaul with this update, because they added physical parkour. Yes, this has been finally added, and of course with everything other like I showed you, you have to toggle physical parkour in the options themselves. This parkour mode reduces floatiness heavily by adding more animations and making the player go through obstacles feeling the weight of your actions. And I mean that in the best way possible, because I felt like my decisions on where to run, how to climb, feels a lot more natural, and having the ability to switch between auto and manual sprinting mode allowed me for more control, and ultimately that's what matters. having control over your actions, especially when you have to run away from hordes of zombies and volatiles. One of those changes is also how play reacts mid-air or mid-action in the case you want to jump somewhere else or change your action or do whatever you want. You will now feel obviously like a very responsive action when you press the button and when you try to aim your character. So the game will register it well, and it's going to make the whole experience much better, because now I don't have to worry about, my decisions, or if animation is going to do something with it, or if my character is going to fail. That is not happening right now, and most of the time when I run with my character, when I want to jump, when I want to slide, it was very responsive and very well made. Sliding, jumping and grabbing ledges feels more impactful now, and I found myself just running through the city using grappling hook and glider as a bonus, with music then kicking in for that full parkour experience. But none of this would matter if the response, as I said, wasn't right, and that's the part they did incredibly well. Also, one of the new additions is you being able to throw weapons now. I actually forgot about that feature and I accidentally hurled my legendary axe from the roof straight into a zombie, which was a funny encounter, but then I had to go and pick up my axe. But a lot of people, as I read, are happy with that change because, this was a part of the first game, and I'm really happy this is also added in Dying Light 2. Also keep in mind that physical parkour is designed for the veterans of the game, but look, even if you are new and you're just going into Dying Light 2, of course you have assisted parkour, which is, for new players, but after a while, after you get the hang of the game and when you get the hang of generally how running feels like and how jumping feels like, and well, of course, when you train in more abilities as you level up, this will become easier. So I really recommend going with the physical mode first, but of course you can always switch to another one if you don't feel it. But of course, for the veterans of the game, this is fantastic because, well, you're getting that authentic Dying Light 1 experience, and well, people are now going to be able to do all of that insane stuff they did in the first game. But even in the second one at start, people were doing some crazy parkour actions over rooftops. Head bob option is also here, of course. You can fine tune how camera will react, or well, how your character will react to various jumping and so on. So you can tune it to your liking, and some animations, like for example car safety landing, have been shortened. Some animations have been made longer, just so it feels better with a new parkour system and it flows a lot better. You can even slide down billboards with a knife now. Yeah. Another feature which I want to mention are community maps. I love when developers give people tools to make stuff, in this case custom maps created by people. You can access from the main menu. I went through a few, they're mostly parkour maps, which I like, but of course it will be interesting to see how this develops further and how modding scene for Dying Light, takes off and turns it into something really cool. Besides the biggest changes, there are also some Kyle Crane references and additions, like for example, a new color grade option called Harran Sunset, which gives you that Dying Light 1 vibes, with the heavy orange tones and the feeling you had before in Harran. And of course, ability to skip intro movies and scenes. If you already went through it multiple times, thank you for adding that, that's huge. Of course, there are other tons of smaller changes you can go through the patch logs, but yeah, I was looking forward to this, especially being a huge fan of the first game, being a huge fan of the second game. Getting these changes in a sequel now is a big plus, but of course, you tell me down below in the comments how you like it. And I really do recommend checking this update out if you have the game. If you don't, then right now on Steam, Dying Light 2 is 50% off until I believe July 13th, with Deluxe and Ultimate Editions also seeing a discount, so check it out. And remember, if you are in trouble, you can always call for help and a player can drop in to help you. I found myself going to help people from time to time who ask for help, because that's a cool option in the game, which I think is really nice because it makes things a lot more immersive, makes the world feel like co-op, but it's not co-op in that sense, unless of course you want to play with your friends. But going to help out different people in the game is actually really nice. And this is everything for today. Thank you for watching, and huge thanks to Techland Games again for sponsoring this video. I was planning to do this anyway, but they were really kind to provide info on the expansion. As always, if you enjoyed this, click the like and subscribe button for more, and check us out on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and remember, stay classy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.